Hey you guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm iteshamarie and I recently picked up the new Fenty We're Even concealer. I'm going to be giving you guys my first impressions and my review of it. So if you're interested in my thoughts on the new Fenty We're Even concealers, then just keep on watching. So this is the We're Even Hydrating Longwear Concealers. I did pick up two shades and I grabbed shades 370N and 400N. And I picked up two just because I wanted a shade that was closer to my skin tone and then another shade for brightening. And I did order these like same day delivery, but if you are interested, you can check them out in Sephora and I think in Ulta as well. And they have 50 different shades of this concealer, so I'm pretty sure you'll find one that works for you. This one has like more of an octagon shape. I guess that's an octagon. I don't know, girl. But I do like it because if I decided to like lay it down on my desk or on my table, it's not gonna roll away. But the packaging it's pretty cute. So just looking at the shades in their little container, they really don't look that different. This one is 400N and this one is 370N. Yeah, we'll see. If my lighting keeps like changing, it's because I'm sitting in front of a window. Girl, just bear with me, girl. All right, so I'm starting out with nothing on my face besides my moisturizer. I use MAC's Hyper Real Skin Canvas Balm. And for foundation, I'm gonna be using MAC's Studio Radiance Serum Powered Foundation. And as always, everything will be linked down below in the description box for you guys to check out if you're interested. I'm gonna go ahead and pump a little bit of this out my little palette. And while I apply this foundation, let's talk about some of the claims of the new Fenty We're Even concealer. I'm looking at the Sephora site for the concealer. It's saying that this is a 12-hour hydrating longwear concealer with a natural second skin finish. It does have some nice skincare ingredients in it. Persian silk tree extract, which targets signs of fatigue around the eyes. And girl, I need that because I have not been sleeping. So we'll see what that's gonna do for my tired eyes. Y'all see how red my nose is? I feel like I look like Rudolph. But anyway, it says that this concealer melts into the skin quickly, invisibly evening, brightening, and hiding dark circles and puffiness. It says that it's an extreme longwear formula that resists creasing, fading, sweat, and humidity, and it won't settle into fine lines or accentuate skin texture, and it's transfer and waterproof. First, I'm gonna go in with shade 400N. Applicator is a little different. It's kind of, it's curved. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go in with 400N first. It feels nice under the eye. I probably could have gone a shade or two darker. I wanted to choose a shade that was closer to my skin tone. I don't know, I couldn't really tell from online, so I just did the best I could with what I got. Feels really light, like really weightless, like kind of nothing on the skin. And to blend, I'm gonna use my Sephora Collection number 71 concealer brush. And I'm not blending it all the way up into my creases just yet. I've got creases under my eyes and I have not met a concealer that does not crease because I have creases. Go back in and just kind of blend out the edges with my foundation brush that I used earlier. Okay, if I'm being completely honest with y'all, as I'm looking in my viewfinder, the shade that I put on first, which again was 400N, that I wanted to use as like my skin tone shade, is giving like brightening shade. It does make me afraid to use shade 370N because if it's gonna be brighter than this, we're gonna see. And I can always exchange the shades if I need to. But let's talk about how it looks so far because this is just one layer of concealer. I feel like it's sitting really beautifully on my skin. It looks hydrated. I don't feel like it's accentuating any texture because I do have some texture like right here, but it's not blurring the texture by any means, but it's also not accentuating it. As far as my creases, with one layer of concealer, I don't feel like it's just like sitting in my creases. That's good. But let's go in with the second layer and see how it looks. So again, for my second layer, which is supposed to be my brightening, I'm using shade 370N. You guys can see that. That's all that I'm using of 370N. To be honest, as I lay it down, the shade doesn't look that different from what I have on my skin right now. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit a little bit and then I'll come back and blend it out. I've let this sit for like 5 minutes, which is probably too long, but it still is giving very dewy on my skin. And I like that because I don't really like it when concealers dry down like super quick before you can even get to blend them out. Because sometimes I like to let my concealer sit while I do my bronzer and the rest of my face. Well, not the rest of it, but you know, I like to let it sit while I do other things. And if it dries down really quickly, I kind of can't do that. And it makes it hard to blend. But this is very easy to blend. I feel like the 2 shades that I picked up really aren't that different for me to have gotten 2 shades. Like, there isn't a huge difference between them, but it's definitely giving bright under eyes. But I'm not mad at it because, like I told y'all, I have been struggling with not sleeping and dark circles and tired eyes and all of that, and I feel like my eyes definitely do look awake. I'm gonna go ahead and put on blush, bronzer, my powders and everything on top of this, and I'm gonna come back and show you guys the final look and let you know what I think about it. I feel like it performed really well with the powder that I put on top of it, which was the One Size Ultra Pink setting powder, which is what I use, which is what I've been using here lately with like all of my concealers. But it looks really good with that. It is a natural like skin-like finish, but with like an extra oomph. It's like, it's not too natural, it's not too thin. I would say it's like medium but buildable, like medium but buildable coverage. And it did definitely cover up my darkness, a little bit of puffiness that I had. I feel like it covered with just like that one thin layer. So if you only want to use one thin layer of concealer and you want some coverage, I think this is going to be good for you. What I like the most about it though is that it's hydrating. My under eyes tend to be pretty dry, especially during like the colder winter month, and I have to make sure I put on a really good eye cream to keep them hydrated. And even I find that even some concealers that I use, if they're too drying, it starts to look not cakey, but it just doesn't look good. Like, it looks dry. But this one, it is very hydrating. So if you're a dry skin girl, I think that you would really enjoy this concealer because you can definitely feel the hydration. It's almost like a, not a serum, it's almost like a gel type of consistency. It is different from their first concealer. I feel like their first concealer was a little bit thicker and not as hydrating as this one. I didn't hate the first one, but I was just like a little bit indifferent. I never repurchased it, so I was just like, I'd rather try other ones. But as for this one and trying it this first time, I probably would repurchase it. I would recommend though going into the store and checking out the shades, because the shade that I picked that I thought would work for me for like my skin tone type of shade, it was too bright. I wanted to brighten my under eyes anyway, but I did want to have 2 shades, like one that I could wear like on a everyday just concealer type of look, and I don't think that the shade that I picked is going to work for that. So I may have to go back and exchange it for like a 410 or a 420. I don't know what all of the shades are, but like I said, they do have 50 different shades in concealer. So y'all know Fenty, they do their thing when it comes to a nice wide range of shades. I did want to talk about the undertones a little bit because I did appreciate the fact that the neutral shades that I picked actually were neutral. They were not too warm and they were not too cool. They were nice and neutral, and I love that because I don't like my under eyes to look yellow. I don't want them to look orange or red. I just want them to look like nice and neutral, like how my skin looks. I have not worn it all day, so I can't tell you guys how it wears. I will do a little transfer test with this little white tissue, so as you guys can see, there is nothing on it right now. And I'm gonna press it under my eye. I'm pressing it really good under there. The tiniest bit of transfer. I don't know if you guys can see it, but just the tiniest bit. So I would say that it's pretty transfer proof. Yeah, I think it's a really nice concealer, so I do really like it, and I would recommend it. Again, I will list all of the things that I used on my face down below in the description box. If you guys have tried out this concealer, or if you plan to try it out, please let me know down below in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel it looks on me. I really like it. I think it looks really beautiful. And that's it. If you have not already, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you like this type of content. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.